What's up, everybody? It's Spirit with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Space Engineers. We are back working on our little rover guy that's going to connect into our ship, which unfortunately they still have not fixed the frame rate issues I was having from the last episode. I was kind of hoping that would be resolved, but it's not. So, there's a couple of things you might notice. Hey, there's a platform under here. I was actually testing because a couple of people had mentioned the whole, like, when you get in this seat, nope, wrong thing, get in the seat, that your legs stick way out the bottom. I had assumed that was, clipping, that the position of the character should be further up, like actually in the seat, but there's probably been an issue since the bone rigs and stuff have changed for the characters, and the mod was probably never updated, I'm assuming. And that's what I had been assuming, and that's why you're clipping through the ground, but you're supposed to be, like, in the chair. But then I got thinking about it, and I'm going, well, there is only a 3-height clearance here. Like, if you'll notice, I can't actually walk through here. I'd have to crouch to get under. I can crouch and get under, but it made me concerned that I hadn't really tested the height thing out to make sure that when I was in the rover, it wouldn't still be needing higher clearance. So I put a little platform here, and I thought about doing an artificial mass block, but I feel like it would just push the whole thing down, so I didn't do that. But let's see here what we can do. So the safety lock is probably on. Okay, there we go. So now our wheels are touching. Right? So the wheels are touching. I don't know if it'll stay that way or not as soon as I start driving. But as you can see, it's a snug fit. It is a very snug fit. But this does actually clear the doorway. I don't know why I'm getting so many stutters here. That's kind of really annoying. But it does actually clear. So, adding in gravity and stuff on top of all that should actually make things even more, less restrictive. Now, there was a lot of information given to me in the comments over the last week or so about these wheels, and it is definitely something that I need to get worked out. To do that, though, now that we know this clears, I do think we are going to get rid of this platform. I really just wanted to make sure that that would work, was really all I was going for there. Okay, so, there's that. Okay, so, had to save the game and stuff, as well as deal with some background noise. So, and by background noise, I mean my dog. Let's see what we can finagle with these here wheels. So, a lot of people were inclined to agree that the safety lock is probably what was causing the fly around the world that happened with my last episode. So, what we're going to do is test a few things, like, well, actually, you know what, we're just going to do this manually here for a minute. Wheels. So there's a few things that I was unaware of, like dampening and strength and all that kind of stuff. I didn't know what that was about. Now, one thing I will say is I don't think these two will affect our Hangar setup very much. Power, friction, dampening, strength, I think, is all going to have to do with basically how we drive on a surface, but I don't think it's going to have to do as much with raising and lowering the wheels. The height and wheel suspension travel is, I think, going to be the big things. So, for example, the suspension travel, you can see they get higher, or are allowed to go higher when it's set to max. They go higher and lower. The offset is what I'm not entirely sure how it exactly works. Let's just crank it all the way up. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing is... let's see what happens if we take the suspension all the way down. Okay. So now they're locked to the top. So basically, what I'm thinking I want to do is with suspension locked, I think I want it to be somewhere at like 5, or rather 0.5 apparently, is what I'm looking for, or 0.05. Maybe something like that would be good for a locked state, right? And I'm probably going to leave it this way for now, because one reason, we're out in space, so I don't really need it to drive, so the wheels don't have to be down. But the other reason being that I will probably end up handling this through a programmable block script. More than likely, I'll have to find a spot that's suitable. Maybe right back there would be a good place. Let's see if I have anything open anywhere. All of my hotbars are constantly full. I don't need all these cockpits, because we were testing out what kind we wanted to use. Typing? Maybe? Oh, okay, this game is so laggy now. They broke stuff. Technically, I think these take up the same amount of room. Let's get rid of that. So we could do this, or we could do that. I'm thinking this, just because this would probably be more realistic, but this is way less of a problem. So I'm going to leave that there, and I'll probably tinker with it a little bit. Maybe I'll do that here in a minute and just do it off camera, because I haven't worked with programmable blocks in forever. So I really don't know entirely all what I'm going to do. But what I'm thinking is setting up a state where it's basically like retracted wheels and extended wheels. So it would be like, hypothetically, let's say you're in your driving state, so we'd want the... can I? No. Alright, so we'd want, let's say we'd want the height offset at, you know, bottom, right? And then you could set the wheel suspension to whatever would work for your driving. And again, that would have to do with where you're driving and all that kind of stuff. I might actually do like an eventual elaborate script with this as we progress, where you have different suspension settings, to where it's like, I want to drive on a moon with low gravity and kind of flat. Okay, well, I need these settings. And then it's like you hit a different button and it would trigger, you know, real bumpy settings with heavy gravity, you know, stuff like that. But basically, right now, all I'm looking at is a wheels engaged and disengaged. So it would be kind of one of those, like right now, I'd have the suspension set to whatever, your dampening and blah, 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 suspension travel would be, let's say, 50%, because I don't think you would need it to go, like, all the way up the wheel. That seems excessive. Like, we could do something, let's just say 50. Hypothetically, just to say it's got a little bounce in its step, right? So that's your driving state, would be in something of that effect. And again, that's all theory and hypothetical. It's not really accurate, because I don't think I'd even want them that high, because it would probably be scraping the solar panels or something. Woo! Hit the wrong button, almost went flying into the hangar. So anyways, but then, so we're in this state, then I want to be able to click a button and essentially say that you're into docking mode, and it would set the offset to 5 centimeters and 0 suspension, which basically pulls the wheels up. Then if we wanted to, we could actually have the script turn the wheels off so that they aren't trying to like drive or engage or anything like that. But then we don't have to use the safety lock, which is apparently very dangerous. So that's my thinking process there. That's what I'm thinking. So now the step is going to be retracting to see if it'll actually work. So we're going to come over here, hangar pistons, let's drop these down. Actually, I should have left that, I should have left that platform there so I could tell if this was actually a pretty good height. I think it is. My reasoning for saying that is we've got a 4-block clearance. Like, it's going to be like 4 blocks and then the ground would be on 5, right? So we have 4 blocks high. But this is going to be like 2 blocks off the ground when it's got its tires going. So that would put that at about 3. So that's right about, you know, 2 blocks off of the ground, essentially. So that should work pretty well. And we've always got the thrusters. We could always give it a little pop if we needed to. Let me stop and save this real quick, and then we're going to test out and make sure this all retracts right. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see if we can actually do this better than we did before. Oops. Oops. We're not off to a good start. I do wonder why these connectors don't seem to snap. Normally the connectors are very, like, sticky and you have a hard time pulling away from them, and these are almost like they're not even grabbing anything, they're just kind of floating there, which is kind of odd. I am trying to align myself a little bit better this time, just to make sure we're not having, like, too much of an issue with alignment, because if it's that touchy, I do think it was the safety lock, but if it's that touchy, we're gonna have problems. Connectors. Let's grab both of those. Lock. Get out. And watch everything blow up in a fit of glory. That's the way most of this has been going, actually. Hey! Look at that! It actually didn't break anything. I'm impressed. I'm easily amused. Now again, I don't know how much alignment is going to be an issue, and we may have to do like a 4-prong instead of a 2 to keep everything aligned properly. I'm not really sure about that. I do think... So here's the thing. I engaged it with thrusters, or I designed it with thrusters so that we could fly on places that just became more of a thing that we needed. But most of the time, I'd like this to be picked up off the ground. And if that happens, we should be relatively aligned about the same, because, well, it's the ground. So, hopefully the ground's not uneven. Can I fit in here? I can, if I stay sideways. Alright. So let's take a really strange view here. Landing gear, where's my doors? Rover doors. Forgot what I named them. Please don't break, please don't break, please don't break! Woo! Hey, look at that! We got ourselves a Rover! And its own little hangar! And it's all connected. I'm actually shocked that worked. We've had so many problems with it. I'm actually very surprised that that actually worked right now. Let's turn off antennas, though, because that's just cluttered. So, other than the programmable block to control the wheels, I think I'm pretty good on the Rover. I'm pretty sure I'm ready to call that done, is my thinking. Now, we do have to do the upper part here, which, let's go ahead. Where's that? Does that come out? That's still in the floor. Okay. So let's go wheel to wheel. Man, my game is so laggy right now. I don't know if anybody else is having that much of an issue or not, but mine is just behaving awful. Ever since they did that graphical update. I mean, it looks better. The game looks better. But it's running like, ugh, so bad. I apologize, too. I mean, some of you... I was very surprised nobody commented on the frame rate last episode. I thought there was going to be a lot of, like, you know, try and do something to fix that, and nobody even brought it up, which I was like, whew, That's really cool of you to be able to tolerate that, because it's driving me crazy. So kudos to you guys for being able to tough it out more than I can with frame rate issues. And I'm also getting game spikes where, like, not just the frame rate, but it'll just stick for half a second. Okay. On that note, let's go over here. Let's pull our landing gears up. And do I have a group? I don't think I do. Airlock controller. No, that's all my controllers. What is this block considered? Landing elevator. Okay. So, landing elevator. Oh. I don't know which is which. That one's closed, so that's got to be the upstairs one. So let's make this outer airlock. And we'll save that. Just so it's easy to get to. And we'll close that. Now, granted, this control panel and the one in the hangar is going to go away eventually, too. But I'm kind of liking that. The underbelly, I think, is pretty good to go. I kind of like it. Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. A couple of people had mentioned doing containers for these weapons. Now, we had a bit of an unfortunate snag here, because these right here, or I mean this hangar had to come down one for height reasons, but I wanted everything to be inset rather than outset, or whatever the equivalent opposite word is. I know inset is when it's something sunk in like this, and I really like that look for the landing gears, and I actually really like the look for the weapons, but it's kind of gone backwards since I put the hangar in. So I am wondering if I could go about doing some kind of block thing down here to make some kind of basically bubble like this. The only problem I have is I don't know of anything that would work retractable wise to basically not have them to cover them up and have them still extendable. And in doing that, I don't really have anything small enough, like single block. Like, I would like to do... Let me see, I know I have them on a panel somewhere. I would like to do these armor panels and have them basically doing like this, but even that, I offset the pistons so they don't stick down, or they stick down too far. I can't do the panels there. But I would like to do something like that if I did it like a block lower or something. The only problem is everything that's a retractable or something is basically some kind of large block on steroids or something, and even if they're on the small grid, they're still like this and they're still huge. Even like the glass bridges and things like that, I think. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, see, even these end up being like huge. So I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm pretty sure these are going to be, we're calling it done on these guys. I'm thinking. But overall, I like the underbelly. It came out nice. It's got weapons, it's got landing gears, it's got a hangar door, got an airlock. I like it. The upper part here, I still think some things are a little bit sticking out. And I've got enough turrets here. I don't think there's any need. I thought about adding, like, in this region somewhere in here, a couple of fixed weapons that extend out, like the bottom ones do, but, I think I've got enough armaments up here in my turrets that I don't really need fixed weapons up there. So overall, I would like to say that the exterior is done. That's what I'm thinking. I might put... I think we had talked about putting a cannon in there, but I don't know if I have anything small enough that'll do that. Most of the cannons that are fixed are huge. So I would like to say, I mean, like I said, you guys are always welcome to suggest things and stuff like that. I'm always open to that kind of stuff, but I'm pretty sure, within a margin of error of like 3%, I'm pretty sure we're going to say the outside's done. I think the rest is just going to be some of the interior work. We're close to finishing up, I think. The inside of the hangar, I don't know if there's going to be anything I do to that, maybe. If there's something else I could see doing, it could be working on the interior of the hangar. Oh no! When did that happen? What is that for? A button? Is that an LCD panel? Where did that come from? What did I break? Ah! What happened? Houston, we have a problem. What the heck happened? Why do I have debris floating around in my ship? More importantly, where did it come from? I'm not missing any of my buttons. What happened? I am very confused right now. Hey, come back. Text panel 17, edit public text, antenna control. Okay, not sure what happened there at all. I interacted with the thing. That's all I did. I swear, that's all I did. And, yeah, so it crashed my entire game. All the way out to desktop. So, I don't know what this is from. It said the thing about antennas, so it must have been a panel over... Oh, it was right here when I put the conveyors in the walls. That's what it was. Okay. But that still doesn't explain where these guys came from. I mean, did I break those at some point? I don't know where those cables came from. No idea at all. I mean, it had to have been right in here, obviously, because that's where the conveyor, or not the conveyor, the cables were. But I don't remember doing anything that broke them. Oh well. I'm also missing a light over here somehow. I still never really completely got all of my lighting stuff squared away. I guess they actually did do that in the update where these cast light now, which is really cool. Like I said, the game looks a lot better, but it runs so bad. Oh, and this is new. Okay. These cables, man. I don't know what's going on with these cables. They're not happy. Still never got the exact respawn situation figured out, though. I do need to do that. It sounded like a thruster just went off or something. That's not cool. But yeah, the lighting. I do like that things cast light now. That's pretty cool. I hadn't noticed that before. That is really cool. Oh, it looks like some of the mods have been updated again. That didn't take long. Actually, that did not take long at all. I really expected that to take a while. Sweet! That's cool. I'm not much of a modder, though, so I usually get, like, you know, make sure I get videos and stuff out on when there's been changes or updates and things to acknowledge them, but a lot of modders do that with their mods, so, you know, I shouldn't really be surprised, but, so yeah, I think the Rover's okay. Oh, These have been updated too. They actually have the green in them now. Okay, cool. Sweet. Looks like... Actually, with some of the new lighting changes and graphic changes, that looks really cool. Because it's all like glowy. Hands down, I think my personal favorite part of this entire build is these guys. This reactor room, I think, came out great. And the retractable solar farms, I love those. I think those are actually my favorite parts of this whole build so far. But yeah, so we got a couple of things that we need to work on. First of all, let me tear a hole in the floor, because that's always a good starting point. At what point do I need to stop tearing a hole in the floor? Oh, that's trippy. When I first tore the hole, this was parked, and it was already docked up in here. Now, we don't need it to be quite this large. Okay, I can't go any further than that. I don't really need it to be this big of a space, I don't think. What I was thinking of doing was trying to line up with these, but this is too wide. I don't think it'll work. Now, what I can do is line to this center one, because I probably only need that much space anyway. So, let's see, what would that be? We've got 1, 2, and then 3. So let's go with that for now. Let's go with that game plan and see how that ends up working. I really wish my game would stop sticking. I think that's more annoying to me than the lower frame rate, is just the sticking that it does every, like, few seconds. It's really annoying. Okay, so we're gonna go off of this, I think, as our frame. I have no idea how far back to go. Still farther. Okay. I don't have to do all this. I'm just trying to gauge what I'm looking at. Woo! This is a big hangar. This is a huge hangar. Okay. Now, one thing we could do, maybe, I don't know for sure, but we might be able to pull off some kind of entry over here that would let us actually come down. But see, the thing is, this isn't even tall enough. I was going to say we could come down here for, like, maintenance and stuff, but it's not really even tall enough. Now, here's another thing that we could potentially do. I won't say that absolutely we can, but potentially I could put a set of welders, like, here and here or something for the wheels and other things. So we might want to do that before we actually call the hangar area quits. But I'm thinking, I don't know what I want to use. I'm thinking glass, just to give it a little bit something different. Let's see. Wow, even the typing is so laggy today. Okay, so I've got the Death Star ones, so we can grab those. Retractable stairs. That's retractable ramp. But that's only for large ships, so I don't even want to look at that. 1 block, 2 block. Let's grab one of those. I don't know what those are. And then we'll do bridge. And all of these are for large ships. Alright, so let's see what we're looking at here. I could do something like this. I would definitely want to make it flush with the floor. Let's see. Glass. Bridge. So that does look pretty cool. I do like that. I mean, you all know me. I like... If you've seen my Subnautica stuff, you know I like glass. Glass looks cool. Let's see. We could always do the Death Star one. That's kind of like a given. That I'm going to veto right now. Because that is a gigantic block. I mean, it's stairs, so it makes sense. But yeah, no, that's not going to work. So we could do this one. Though why that's considered... Oh! Oh boy. It's because I'm not going all the way to the back. Okay. So, that would mean we would have to take this back a bit. Let's see how that works. Okay, so still not. This is kind of experimental here. I don't know if we're gonna stay with this or not. It could look kind of cool. Could look really weird. I think this will be enough. I thought it would be enough. Why is that still not enough? Oh, because this one is not as far back as this, I guess. No, it is. No, it's one block off. Okay. That's what's doing it. So from there... Alright, so let's do this. Let's take this back one. There. Let's try that. Now, in theory, I should be able... There we go. So I could do this. Let's, for now, operate on the assumption we want to do this. This matches better on the interior anyway. So we'll do that. One thing I did want to see, though, is if I extend one of these, it almost looks... Okay, so from up is the tinted and down is the see-through. That actually works the way that I would want it to, so that's kind of cool. So we could do something like this, and of course we could always do a decorative, you know, some kind of angular-like shape along the edge or along this edge or something like that. Actually, what I would probably do, let's do a hypothetical on this one side here. And let's go at least from here. And we'll do it this whole side and see what this ends up looking like. My concern is I think this would be considered airtight, but I'm not 100% positive it would be. Okay, there's still an opening somewhere in my vent system, which is honestly not surprising because I really have not done a good job of going back through and making sure everything's sealed. So there's probably a hole somewhere, but I don't exactly know where. Because again, this should, I thought, I may be wrong, and if I am, feel free to correct me, but I thought these bridges would be considered air-gapped to where they're, or airtight, to where it's sealed, but I could just have a hole somewhere else that's leaking somewhere. And I also don't recall if these conveyors are considered airtight or not, because like that you can still see through, but because they're a single block, I don't know what the game considers them as, so I may have some issues there that we need to fix. And in terms of that, like the air sealant stuff, we could always do stuff like this. You know, you can always do, well, maybe? You could always do panels like that, I suppose, if that was causing the problem or something of that nature. But I'd like to do the cabling and stuff like that on the walls, but I do think this would be kind of cool to do. So that's kind of what I'm thinking we'll go with. I don't know if we'll do the angle thing or not. That's kind of an interesting idea. But I don't know if I would keep with that or not. let's pull this one open. I mean, it's kind of one of those, it doesn't really matter if it looks decorative or something or not, but I think if it's considered sealed, I mean, if it's not, it's not, and we can't go with it, but if it's considered sealed, I'd like the idea, I think, of it looking a little more decorative. And actually, I don't know if I could do it there or not. So we may stick with just a square edge. I'm not really sure on all of that. But I think... So we've got the tires pretty much set where they're going to stay, and we've figured out our offset stuff. I do have to go through and do a programmable block configuration of that to change it when we're landing and docking and stuff. But that allowed us to keep from using the safety lock, which did seem to be causing problems, and this will fit up into this hangar. Now, how precise I have to be when parking it, I have no earthly idea. But it does work in at least one way. And we've got a doorway here. Now again, a lot of people will probably say this, and it is true. I don't need this big of space. I could have a little hatch right in the middle of the floor and just open it and get in like a Subnautica Cyclops. I just wanted to play around with the bridge thing and stuff like that, but if we really decide it's either not sealed or we don't like it or blah blah blah, yeah, I can totally go in and use like one of these hatch type things. Oh, that's funny. The centered one is for large ships only. Go figure. Just hypothetically, though. I mean, I could go along and put... Well, I say I can, but it's not letting me. Oh. Use your brain. It's because that's there. But you could go along and put, like, a hatch right there, and then just open it and get in your rover kind of thing. So, there is that. I will probably, I know some people had mentioned airlock situation, that if we have to have this open to get in, since we didn't actually dock the ship with us in the ship, so I don't know if we'll fit, but we did clear the bottom, which makes me think we can clear it with the door closed. That would be my theory, because I have the same height here as I do down here. So the fact that we were able to drive it and clear this means my head isn't sticking up and my feet aren't going to get clipped. So technically I think we can dock, pull this in, shut the door, and then open this to get out of the rover. I think that would be a thing. So with that in mind, I mean, there's a couple of different ways we could do things. I just wanted to try a little, try one with a bit more room to let us get a bit more maneuverability and stuff like that and see what we had to work with. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.